Muito boa noite, amigos do Hangar Café. Sejam todos vocês muito bem-vindos. É um prazer tê-los hoje aqui. Já temos aí mais de 30 pessoas a bordo. E hoje nós vamos fazer uma live muito especial, uma live internacional. E, em função disso, eu vou fazer agora um breve agradecimento em inglês. Mas digo para vocês que no decorrer da live nós vamos fazer a tradução para o português através do Francis Barros, que vai nos ajudar aqui. So I would like to start, and good evening to the guests Carlos Fantoba and Rob Holland and Francis Barros. On behalf of the Hangar Café channel, I would like first of all to thank Captain Francis Barros. He was the man responsible for being able to make this live. I would like to register now my deepest thanks to the aviators Carlos Fantoba and Rob Holland for having accepted the invitation made by Francis Barros to participate in this live. It is for me in particular and for Hangar Café channel a great honor in receiving them for this unprecedented live in Brazil, bringing together three of the most important pilots of the aerobatics in the world. I'm sure that today we record a great virtual event through this live, and I hope that everyone participates and can interact with these fantastic pilots. Be all of you special guests and the audience very welcome. Então, em suma, eu gostaria exatamente de agradecer, principalmente ao Francis Barros, que tornou tudo isso possível, agradecer ao capitão, ao comandante Carlos Fantoba e ao comandante Rob Holland, terem aceito essa live hoje conosco. For some more information about our lives, we share this live in 4 blocks. The first block we will address with our guests when, how, and where it all began. And I have here just to show to our audience. And then, in second block, we will have with us on the screen 4 guests. Captain João Derek, represents Aerobatic Brazilian Board. Then the voice of Sports Aviation of Brazil, named Vadico. And following the fantastic aerobatic pilot Gunnar Armin, will participate with us. And they close the block, Captain Ricardo Soriani, on behalf of Hangar 33, one of the sponsors of this live. And the third block, I would like to receive a question from the audience. And the last block, we put here the words of our guests and about the future perspectives and the final message. So I'd like now to start. I'd like to invite Francis Barros for initial words and as a Hangar Café host, receiving friends Castor Fantoba and Rob Holland. Thank you.
Well, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Rob. Good evening, Castor. Thank you very much for coming. As I told you yesterday, the history of this international broadcast, because maybe a few people, they don't know. Rob is in the United States, Castor is in Europe, I am in Africa. Maybe a few people will be surprised, but I'm in Africa right now, and Marcos is in South America. I'm pretty sure that we have a few guests that are joining us from Argentina, Uruguay, Chile, Peru, and well, I'm super happy to make it happen. The idea was when Marcos asked me to do a live, I told him, hey, Marcos, everybody know already about my story, and I'm not that important. So let me ask you something. Do you mind if I bring two people that I think I consider super special, and I'm pretty sure that the Brazilian pilots are going to enjoy them a lot? And I am the one that have to say thank you, Marcos, to allow these two incredible pilots to speak a little for the Brazilian community as well as the South American community. I don't have to explain much about their careers. I think they are outstanding athletes that already had proved a lot. But I must say that on top of that, they are very good individuals with very good characters, and they have done a lot for the aerobatics sport worldwide. They are not only athletes, they are coaches. They are people on the backstage working hard, trying to make it happen, and believe me or not, trying to make it safe. A very interesting sport where it's very easy to have a drama in the end if you don't have the right attitude and the right mentoring. So I think, to make a very long story short, I have fully respect for them as friends, as very good individuals with very good character. And of course, I think everybody knows about their capabilities as pilots. So I don't have to say about that. So that's the idea. That's why we brought them. I'm very happy to have them. And I think we need to take advantage of the time. So let's go for it.
Yes. Okay, Francis. And I'd like to invite Captain Castor Fantoba to the first words.
Thanks, Marcos. First of all, hello to everybody. Hello, our friends of Latin America, and Africa, even. Some of us is around there, lost there in the forest. It's a real honor to be here with so, well, amazing pilots are you two, especially, Rob. We are fighting with the heart, since 2011 in Foligno, and you won. My God, no way with you. Huh? And but we are thank God aerobatics is a sport that is not how can I say, so radical like other motorsports. Radical in terms of relationship between the pilots. Here the respect is fundamental, and even you are beaten for one of your colleagues, of course, respect is absolute, because we are competing from equal to equal. No, one is looking the other, what the hell is he doing? Look that figure. I'm going to try to do it. You get the videos, you try to duplicate, you see it's impossible. What can I do now? I need another plane, more power. I need to cut the tail. I need, So that's a little bit the idea. No? So it's a real honor to be with you here, and of course it's a honor to be here trying to expand the word. No, just try to pass the poison to more people, just to let them know that flying is easy, can be done. You not only need, but you can do it with money, but it's not only money what you need motivation. You need to want to do it. I'm a guy from the north of Spain, small village, 5,000 inhabitants. My father was a mechanic. My mother was a hairdresser. And I was a normal child looking the sky with my falling down when I was seeing, a plane on the sky, And finally, I was so lucky to be able to become a pilot. And I would like to pass this to everybody, saying you can do it. You can be one of the best in the world if you try hard. I'm not speaking about aerobatics. I'm speaking about everything, anything. If you have clear ideas and you go forward, just that. And if we can help to pass this idea to our viewers, to our friends that are here tonight with us, well, only with one, that's worth.
Okay. Before to call Captain Rob Holland, I'd like to ask Captain Francis Barros if possible to translate some words.
No, absolutely. So, em português, basicamente o Castor agradeceu a todos, agradeceu a oportunidade, disse que é uma honra estar aqui na América Latina e que contou um pouquinho da história dele, que é bastante bonita. Ele é filho de um mecânico, de uma cabeleireira, e que veio do norte da Espanha, de uma cidade pequena, e que conseguiu se tornar piloto e conseguiu hoje se tornar um dos melhores pilotos do mundo, mais competitivo. E ele está falando a respeito da vida, né? Se ele conseguiu fazer isso nesse esporte, a gente pode fazer no esporte e pode fazer isso na vida, desde que a gente tenha a motivação, não é só o dinheiro, né, que vai contar, é principalmente a motivação, o foco para fazer as coisas acontecerem e chegar lá. Ele falou do respeito mútuo entre os atletas, né? Ele falou de uma história bacana do campeonato de 2011 entre ele e o Rob competindo. E basicamente isso acontece a cada 2 anos quando a gente se encontra. Mas depois que passa a festa fica boa. É só o campeonato que é o ranger dos dates.
Okay. And now I'd like to invite Captain Rob Holland, as amazing aviator, and now I know that you are a guitar player as well. So very welcome, and your first words.
Thank you. Well, it's an honor to be here. Fellow competitors, but more importantly with friends. And I'm just looking forward to having a great conversation about aerobatics and aviation, and answering some questions and maybe inspiring some people to get involved in this great sport and this thing we call aviation that we all love so much. So I'm just really happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Okay, thank you very much. And Captain Francis Barros, please just translate.
Como acho que o Rob comentou, ele está feliz de estar aqui dentro da comunidade e com a gente, com os competidores que ele conhece. E a ideia dele é falar um pouquinho de aviação, responder as perguntas e inspirar talvez algumas pessoas que possam seguir esse esporte maravilhoso, ou a aviação, seja ela mais global ainda, que é tão bacana e que a gente é tão apaixonado por isso. Então, está bastante feliz e à disposição das perguntas aí.
Okay. Are you just talking Portuguese to thank you people that are in our audience? Eu gostaria de agradecer a todos que estão aqui. Vejo muitas pessoas que acompanham o canal. Cristina Falaschi, muito obrigado. Tem feito aí um acompanhamento do canal muito bacana. Muita gente que acompanha a gente sempre aqui no canal. Muito obrigado a todos vocês que estão aí. Algumas mensagens de Portugal também já chegaram aqui. Então, agradeço. Compartilhem, porque estamos apenas começando, para que as pessoas possam vir assistir essa nossa live. Temos aqui one pilot of our official squadron of the demonstration.
Smoke squadron is like more or less the Thunderbirds or Blue Angels.
Sure, in Brazil, Captain Crespo was the number 4 of the squadron. Very welcome. Okay. And let's go, Francis Barros, for the first block.
Well, I think it's better. Everybody already know my story, so I think it's better to let the guys speak a little bit. When did it started? Where did it started, and how it started? I think so. Please be comfortable. I think we can follow Castor. You may start telling a little bit about your story.
Well, as usual, the path is never straight. No, you go here, then there, and then you realize that you have been losing half of your life doing stupid things. So I'm an expert on that for sure, and world champion. Sorry, Rob, this is mine. Doing stupid things, and I wasted part of my life trying to become. Not trying, I get it finally to become an engineer. Very bad engineer, pretty bad engineer. So if I open a shop, please don't come to my shop. Yeah, for sure. So my first idea about be close to aviation was through the aeromodelism. Of course, as well, I was pretty bad one. but I had pretty good ideas, trying to transform one thing in another, but however, children things. Then when I finished the high school, I joined the Politécnica de Madrid, trying to become an aeronautical engineer. Failed 3 years. I'm back to changing this university by another one instead of 6 years, just 3. The technical engineering, what we called it here. Took me a little bit of time finished, and when I got it, I realized that was not my job. So a lot of years lost. And in the meantime, I tried to enter in the Air Force. Not good enough for that. Not because they were putting so difficult tasks. I had a pretty good physical form, shape, and not bad in mathematics and basically things, but I got asleep in the last exam. You cannot imagine what is that, to wake up at 9 in the morning and the last exam was beginning at 7 again. Another course. So then I went to my military service in Spain. Was in that moment 9 months, and I found a friend. I made a friend there that was fly instructor, and said, well, I'm engineer, but I don't like that. I'm aeronautic engineer, but I don't like that. Must be nice, no, to become a pilot. Yeah, come. We have a small school here. It's nice here in the mountains near Madrid. So, well, I decided to join them. And, I spoke with my parents, poor parents. But they helped me. And they say, okay, yeah, last time we promised it's not going to happen again. We pay the course, we will pay back the money. But, so I became a pilot. But I was not young in that moment. So I had it clear that I will be agricultural pilot, something like that, but never an airliner, because in that moment it was impossible and I had not the qualifications. Commercial IFR, but not ATPL, no, well, however. So is what happened. I became, before this, I became a private pilot. I paid for that because, well, I was very, very, very excited about flying. Then I became a commercial pilot. And I began to fly a little bit of aerobatics, and then I had the great fortune to fly an Antonov 2 that a group of friends of mine, Vitas Lapenas, Alex McLean, Ignacio Rosich, a group of friends brought to Spain, just to put meatballs, parachutists on the air. No, my wife is here saying, "Oh my God, what are you saying?" So whatever. So. And that's what a great thing, because I learned how to manage properly one of these big Russian radial engines. And then I went for firefighting. And from firefighting, I was previously agriculturals, then firefighting. And then finally, somebody gets wrong and put me on an airline. And, and that was the beginning. So I could get in this way some money to finance the aerobatics. That was my real passion, and was the beginning. So from this moment, I try to do a parallel path with the airlines and the aerobatics, and if it was needed, to leave airlines to keep on with aerobatics. What happened? Well, I became a professional aerobatic pilot that, as a hobby, was flying airliners, and that's usually doesn't end well. So because the companies want a pilot, they want a pilot that works in the airliners, not an aerobatic pilot that comes sometimes to say, hello, I'm going to do this trip or this other. So, you need to organize your life. Of course, you need to have a family, a wife that supports you, and is not saying, go there, get the money, pay for the house. So no, it's not the case with that. So you say, what the hell are you doing here, Tom, that you are not training? Okay, so, it's a really great girl. So that's it. And time took me, 10 years to become an acceptably good aerobatic pilot, beginning from the end of the barrel in my first try in 1999 in Cordoba. And well, since then was my goal, just to improve, and yes, can be done. Maybe you never get the world championship, but you can be in the top, and if you are in the top 10, one day is going to happen, or maybe not. But you need to be there, and that's my life, and I enjoy every minute with that.
Okay.
Well, it's a pretty good life, eh, Castor?
I'm not straight, I told you.
Well, I'm gonna try to make it. I'm sorry if I skip it some, but I'm trying to translate. Well,
we can make a version in Spanish or in Portuñol, whatever you want.
Well, so please go ahead. It's better. If
no, not yet.
Bom, achei bastante legal a história do Castor, porque o Castor é como eu falei, além de um grande atleta, é uma excelente pessoa. E ele contou a história dele. Ele tentou ser engenheiro no início da carreira, tentou uma universidade, não deu certo, ficou 3 anos, mudou para uma outra. Depois dessa universidade também não deu muito certo, ele tentou ir para a Força Aérea. Foi muito bem nos exames, mas no último dia perdeu o horário da última prova, o que ele deve dar risada disso até hoje, ou chorar até hoje, imagina se dá risada, né? Porque está muito bem colocado na vida. E da lá, quando depois ele foi para o serviço militar, ele conheceu um amigo que era piloto, e ele, obviamente, lá, como engenheiro aeronáutico, ele não tinha tanto reconhecimento, e esse amigo dele falou, vem cá, por que tu não faz o curso de piloto? E, obviamente, ele sempre apaixonado por aviões, foi fazer o curso, e de lá fez o curso, daí virou um piloto de Antonov 2, que é uma aeronave que a HANGAR 33 possui, que é um símbolo, é uma grande aeronave, belíssima, né, é uma obra de arte. E do Antonov 2 ele teve contato com os motores russos, e dali ele virou um piloto de combate a incêndio, e do piloto de combate a incêndio virou um piloto de linha aérea. E como piloto de linha aérea, ele conseguiu daí lentamente financiar a acrobacia dele. A esposa dele e a família deram um suporte muito grande, tanto os pais nessa conversão de curso, quanto a esposa, que ao invés de querer o dinheiro para comprar as coisas para casa, enfim, dava suporte para ele treinar, e isso é fabuloso, é fundamental esse suporte da família. E aí o que era um hobby virou uma profissão, ele se tornou um piloto profissional de acrobacia, e a companhia aérea acabou virando um hobby. Ele disse que demorou 10 anos mais ou menos para que ele se tornasse um piloto de acrobacia competitivo. E desde então ele vive essa vida com paixão e muito feliz, como todo mundo pode notar. Então, acho que a mensagem é essa, pode ser feito, a mensagem que ele está passando é real e é só acreditar.
Okay, it's a very, very, very good message, and I have some question, but I will take notes, and in the second block we will ask our guests. And now I'd like to invite Rob Holland to talking about when and your life in this aviation environment started.
Well, I can't remember a time where I wasn't just fascinated with airplanes. I liked them as far back as I could remember. I think it was Star Wars. I saw Star Wars as a kid and saw things flying, and I thought that was very cool. But then when I was a little bit older, 11 or 12, my dad brought me to an air show, and I saw people flying upside down. I saw the Blue Angels, I saw jets, and I was just like, that's what I have to do someday. So I was kind of on a mission from that point on to try to figure out how to become an aerobatic pilot and how to be an air show pilot. So I went to a university for aviation, got my degrees in aviation and learned how to fly there, got all my ratings. And then whatever I could get my hands on that would go upside down, I would try to fly it, and taught myself, went up really high and read all the books and one figure at a time and started learning everything. And then fast forward many years later, I started an aerobatic flight school, started teaching other people how to fly aerobatics, and started using those airplanes to get into air shows. And that's also when I discovered competition aerobatics and started flying air shows and competition about the same time. And that's what I've been doing for the past 20 years.
20 years.
20 years. Oh, I've been flying for 29 years, and air shows and competition for about 20 years.
Okay, Francis.
Wow. That's pretty good. O Rob falou que ele não lembra de quando ele não era apaixonado por aviação, sempre todas as memórias dele, acho que como a maioria dos grandes aviadores, desde pequeno apaixonados, e quando ele tinha uns 11 ou 12 anos, os pais os levaram para um show aéreo, e foi quando ele viu um avião voando de cabeça para baixo, viu os Blue Angels, viu os jatos, e aí ele disse para ele mesmo que era aquilo que ele queria para a vida dele. E aí, a partir daí, ele entrou numa universidade de aviação, onde ele estudou, tirou todas as carteiras, e lá, a partir dali, tudo que voasse acrobacia, que virasse de cabeça para baixo, ele começou a voava, começava a fazer as manobras alto, aprender com altitude, começou a aprender as figuras. Ele foi para uma escola de acrobacia, onde ele virou instrutor de acrobacia, começou a ensinar os outros. E aí, ao mesmo tempo, ele começou a fazer shows aéreos e descobriu a acrobacia de competição. E a partir dali, ele seguiu os dois caminhos paralelos e nunca mais parou. Ele falou que já são 29 anos fazendo essa atividade aí e com muito brilhantismo. Okay. So, I tried to make a very long story, very beautiful story short. I think they got it. And to proceed, I just like to thank you all the messages. Sometimes it's very fast.
Yes.
I'm not so good in read all the messages, but I saw some friends there, and I just like to say hello for them. We have test pilots from Embraer and everything, so yes. I'm very happy to. I am proud to have such a good friends like these guys and like you that are watching now. So thank you.
We have a special guest in the audience. We have here we have my mother. She has 95 years old. 95 years old.
95.
Using the technology, using YouTube and Instagram. Here is my mother giving congratulations for all of you. And yes, we have Captain Matos from the England, 29 years, flying almost my age. Yes. And Christina Falaschi, I love your flight, and I'm your fan, Rob Holland. And okay, several guys, and here we have a squadron, a new squadron, air squadron here, the Fox squadron. That in this squad, they fly the MMR.
RVs. They fly the RVs. They have a team of RVs.
Yes, for three guys from the Air Force, the Brazilian Air Force, retired, and now they created this very beautiful squadron. Thank you for being here with us. Okay, Francis, I have one question for both Captain Fantoba and Captain Holland. And what do you think? Now I can do my
yeah, go ahead.
Okay. My question is, I would like to ask Castor Fantoba and Rob Holland, because I have asked the same question for Francis Barros in another live on this channel. As experienced aerobatic pilots and flight instructors, how do you evaluate the insertion of aerobatic course in the basic training of a pilot? First Captain Castor and then Captain Rob Holland.
Well, I can speak about how we do in Europe. The UPRT has been introduced in Europe not long time ago, and I think is absolutely necessary. Not only that, the French are especially good in this, and they have been putting in the schools, in the pilot schools, aerobatics since the beginning. What I can say about, for example, Spain is we are a little bit tricky, and we always find the shortcut. I mean, the schools. So if spins need to be done, they are done or not done, but signed. So this has been, it's difficult to say this in an open channel, but since not very long time, almost no work was done in unusual attitudes. And now this is improving, but at this moment, even there are schools that are not doing the proper job. I mean, from my point of view, the UPRT, the basic aerobatics, is something fundamental for all pilots. Not only because his own safety, because one day is going to be needed to save others' life that are going to be working with him or flying with him. And there is no shortcuts for this. Need to be done. We need to be responsible. We need to apply it, and we need to follow the regulations. The regulations say that this must be done and must be done. We are in the good path. Now we only need to all the schools need to apply it. In our school, for example, we do the things. We take not only the mandatory rules, but even the recommendations. We do everything. And I think it must be like that, using for UPRT, aerobatic plane, people that is active in aerobatics, that is competing, not because competing makes you special, no, just because makes you better. You try to improve, you try to know more things, opens your mind a little bit and opens your knowledge. And this is the point of view of our school. Our instructors are competitors in aerobatics. The planes are aerobatic. We don't do UPRT in a Cessna, on a Piper, or any other kind of plane that is not aerobatic. And we use parachutes as well, always, as if it was an aerobatic flight. The rest, regulations and period.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try to translate in Português. O Castor falou que ele acha fundamental esse treinamento, tanto é que o treinamento agora na Europa é mandatório. O que ele chama de UPRT é o Upset Recovery Training. Seria o treinamento de manobras inadvertidas, né? E esse treinamento, eles existem no programa da EASA, da Autoridade Europeia, itens que são mandatórios e itens que são recomendações. E ele acha tão importante isso que ele está realizando as duas. Tanto os itens que são mandatórios quanto são os que são recomendações. E a importância disso, ele e nós todos acreditamos que a gente está na direção certa, é porque isso torna o piloto um piloto mais completo na medida em que ele consegue entender melhor os comandos de um avião, não só para se sair de uma situação adversa, que a gente até pode concordar que é rara, né, de acontecer, mas para que ele possa entender melhor os comandos de voo, possa pilotar melhor a sua máquina. Todos os instrutores da escola dele vão a aviões de acrobacia, não são aviões semi-acrobáticos, são aviões acrobáticos com paraquedas, e os instrutores que lá estão praticam competição, não porque a competição vai tornar ele um piloto especial, mas sim vai torná-lo um piloto melhor, porque a competição por si só faz com que cada atleta, cada indivíduo tente o seu melhor. Então, isso faz o nível elevar.
Com certeza.
Acredito estar no caminho certo.
Com certeza. And now the point of view of Captain Holland.
I mirror a lot of what Castor said. I think aerobatic training, or the fundamentals or upset training, is incredibly important for any pilot. But I guess the thing about aerobatic pilots is we don't have any unusual attitudes. Right? It doesn't matter what attitude on an airplane, it's normal to us. We know how to react to it, we know how to fix it. So if you have some sort of aerobatic training or upset training or UPT training, whatever you'd like to call it, they're not unusual attitudes anymore. They're just attitudes, and you know how to deal with it and how to react to it. So yeah, I think it's very important. I think it builds pilot skills overall. Even if you take a course and never fly aerobatics again, it's still skills that you take with you for the rest of your aviation career, which will help you in the long run.
Okay.
That's great. O Rob confirmou o que o Castor falou, ele acha que é fundamental esse treinamento, ele só acredita que para um piloto de acrobacia não existe atitude anormal, porque qualquer atitude é normal. O piloto de acrobacia ele está acostumado com qualquer atitude. Então, seja como a gente queira chamar um curso de acrobacia, curso de atitude anormal, basicamente para ele é a mesma coisa, porque isso vai dar conhecimento para o piloto e tranquilidade para ele não existir nenhuma atitude anormal para ele. Mesmo que o piloto não queira mais fazer acrobacia, ele acha fundamental que o piloto faça esse treinamento para que dê mais habilidade para ele como piloto, mais entendimento das condições do voo.
Okay. Thank you. And I'd like to register that we have also another air show team here with us. Alfredo Leta is representing the Sky Squadron. This is another squadron that we have here, maybe the same aircraft, but I'm not sure, but six or eight aircrafts, and integrating pilots from the military aviation and the civil aviation as well. So the next month I will make a live with the Sky Squadron. Thank you for to be with us. Okay, Francis, I think that we can jump to the second block. Okay, the second block is about the special participation from our supporters, and the first guy that I would like to invite to be with us is Captain João Eric. João Eric in Portuguese, and he is a representative of CBA. Francis, explain about CBA here in Brazil.
CBA, I'm very proud to say that is the aerobatic community in Brazil is like the IAC in United States, and they have a very good group, very good team working hard to make aerobatics more democratic and easy to make it according to the standard safety rules. So they have very good pilots there that very promising. And well, João Eric, I'm really glad to have you here. So please go ahead.
So good evening, everyone. I have to say it's a great honor to be here and have the opportunity to ask you questions, all the three of you. You inspire all the aerobatic pilots all over the world. And if Marcos allow me, I would like to ask you two questions. The first one is in which proportion would you personally say aerobatic is a mind sport?
A mind sport? I think 90% of it is a mind sport. You have to be able to visualize and picture what you're going to do. You have to have a plan before you go and execute it. I tell people that I work with that everything you do in the air is just to validate what you figured out on the ground. So there is a physical aspect to it. There's the muscle memory and the skills to fly the airplane, but a lot of it is up here and understanding what you're going to see and what you're going to do and how you're going to execute the plan.
Okay.
Castor.
Well, I agree absolutely with Rob. Mental, yes, could be a 90%. So there is only one program now in Unlimited Aerobatics that is, let's say, of 4 questions that we have in an exam, in a championship. One is known, is your free known program, or your free known program. And another 3 are unknown. You cannot train them, so you only can imagine with your experience what is going to happen with the wind, your position, with your energy, to put it exactly in the point you want to match what you think is going to be with which is going to really happen. So, and this is purely mental. This is the first part. The second part is you are on the ground for 10 days waiting to fly for 4 minutes. That's a lot. So this is not Zen. It's an upper level. And when you are there for 10 days and waiting for your last flight, and even worse, if you have opportunities to get a medal, and you are waiting and waiting and waiting, and then there is a cloud coming in the middle of the box, and then they send you with to stop the engine and go back to the parking, and then you go down, and then they say, no, the cloud is out, please come. Wow. So yes, Rob, absolutely mental.
Okay. Ok. Francis, pode traduzir rapidamente?
Eles todos os dois, acredito que é fundamentalmente mental. A pergunta do João Eric, primeiro, eu acho que é importante traduzir. Qual que é a ideia, né, de cada um em relação ao que a gente chama de mindset, né? O que é mentalização, o que o jogo de mentalização cognitivo importa nesse esporte. E o Rob respondeu 90%. O Castor também respondeu que é super importante porque é um esporte onde você voa 4 minutos, 5 minutos e fica esperando 10 dias para o tempo melhorar num campeonato para você poder ter essa janela de 4 minutos. Então, se você não estiver mentalmente preparado, vai tudo por água abaixo. Então, é muito importante esse trabalho mental. Obviamente, a memória muscular é uma atividade também de esporte que exige fisicamente, mas o trabalho mental como um atleta, principalmente de alto nível, é fundamental. Agora nós temos as sequências desconhecidas também, onde o piloto não consegue treinar. Nós temos 4 programas, né? O primeiro programa é o conhecido misturado com a free, de antigamente, e 3 programas são desconhecidos. Então, esses 3 programas não tem como treinar. Então, se você não faz o seu trabalho mental muito bem preparado, você vai mal nesses programas.
Ok, perfeito. The second question.
So the second question is, what about the team participation? What are the advantages or eventually the...
Deu uma... I think that it's
well, I think the question is about the teamwork and
disadvantages of being
the advantages of team.
Okay, Eric.
I'm back.
Yes.
Sorry
please,
about
that.
So
again.
I was asking about the advantages and eventually the disadvantages of a team during an international event, an international competition. Having in mind that, aerobatic is a blind sport.
Castor?
So, well, so as far as I understand, these advantages and disadvantages of being on a team against the individual participation. Well,
exactly, yes.
Advantages are clear. If you are in a group, supportive, and when you are not so good, they are helping you. If you have some failure, like checking programs, like helping you to go step by step for all the details you need to cover to fly a proper known program. Not only that, if you have a good team, you are in good mood for most of the championship, when you know that there is moments in which it's difficult to live with you because you are going to be very, excited, stressed. And if you have a good group that can help you to manage all that stress, all that frustration when you need to do something and you cannot do it because you are going to fly in 5 minutes, fundamental. So the group is going to support you and help you to get better results. Of course, then there is some disadvantages because, of course, we are pilots, we are specials. Everybody has a special point, no? So we are. It's like the English say is hurling cats. It's difficult to put us all together and make us go in the same direction. So then is when a good coach comes and do his job. So again, the team is better. You need a coach. Is always, from my point of view, impossible to get good results without a coach, a good, proper coach. So team is 100% has helped me to get probably all what I got in the past. And if in the future I can help, I will be part of a team to help the pilots. I think it's fundamental.
Okay.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything Castor said. It's we support each other, we learn from each other, we watch each other fly, we help each other on the ground. Someone might fly early in the program, come down and say, the winds are going this way, or I learned this from doing this figure, and it'll help you with your flying to improve your program. So having a really good team and the support and working together is very important.
Acho que a pergunta do João, né, só revisando, quais seriam as vantagens e as desvantagens de ter um time no Campeonato Internacional de Acrobacia. E ambos falaram que, obviamente, a maioria são vantagens, porque com o time te dá apoio emocional quando você não está bem, te dá apoio como grupo para crescer tecnicamente. É fundamental ter um treinador, um coacher, né? Porque esse coacher é que vai organizar a casa quando as diferenças individuais aparecerem e começarem algumas rusgas, o que é normal, essa seria uma das desvantagens, né? Mas, fundamentalmente, é muito importante. And if I may add something, I think if you look into the past, and I don't know if Coco is watching us or not, but I'd like to mention Coco because it's my latest coacher, and I like him a lot. And I think he did a brilliant job with the French team, because I think we need to learn with the French guys to work as a team. They have beat us during all these years because they have a very good team. If you look at the American team, for example, look, Rob, Goody, Thomas. Goody is not very famous, but whenever I see Goody flying, it's amazing. He's unbelievable. And, well, we are expecting the Americans to beat the French, but I think now Rob is ahead of the game. Probably he's building this confidence as a group for the American team, and they will make it. But I think, to answer your question, from my side, I think it's fundamental. And I honestly, I took me a little bit of time to understand that this is not really an individual sport. And that's why the beginning, when all these things started many, many years ago, they created the medals, the team medals, because this is a team job. And that's what they want to see really in an international FAI competition. I don't know.
Okay. Thank you, João Eric, for your participation and for your attention to this live. Thank you very much.
I'm the one that has to thank for the opportunity to be here and to ask these questions for these three wonderful pilots. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Ron. And keep doing your good job in CBA. All of you guys. I'm very proud of all of you.
For sure.
Thank you.
We love this sport.
Okay. Now we have the voice of aviation, the voice of air show. Our friend Vadico is now here. Vadico, seja muito bem-vindo. You can ask your question in Portuguese. Capitão Francis Barros will translate. Pode fazer, então, suas perguntas em português, interagir em português, e o Francis Barros vai fazer a tradução. Muito obrigado por você estar aqui. Thank you.
Tá, primeiramente, boa noite a todos. Um enorme prazer em poder participar. Ao Castor Fantoba, boa noite. Ao Rob Holland, a você, Francis, muito obrigado por isso, por essa oportunidade. Ao Marcos, ao HANGAR Café. E a parte que me toca nessa história é a parte da emoção, de saber o que vocês querem passar para o público, o que vocês treinaram a fazer, e eu tenho que transformar isso em palavras e passar para o público que, na maioria das vezes, são leigos e estão lá para assistir às cambalhotas e tudo mais. Procuramos fazer isso da melhor forma possível e mais simples possível. A minha primeira pergunta é sobre o show aéreo, né? Eu quero saber de vocês, do Castor e do Rob, se eles têm na mente deles e no futuro aí em visitar o Brasil, e que a gente possa ter a possibilidade de assistir um voo deles aqui na nossa pátria verde e amarela. É isso que eu quero saber. E depois eu tenho aí uma segunda pergunta para o Francis. E quero saber também, embutido nisso, Francis, pergunte por gentileza, de que forma eles veem a acrobacia brasileira. porque nós já temos um histórico de muito tempo de pilotos brasileiros participando em campeonatos mundiais. Então, e hoje tem uma nova leva de pilotos, né? Temos a Juliana aí conquistando títulos, você, França, representando o Brasil também e fazendo jus a tudo aquilo que a gente espera do seu trabalho e tal. É isso que eu quero saber, como eles veem a acrobacia do Brasil e se a gente vai ter a possibilidade de ter eles aqui um dia no nosso quintal.
Okay, so Vadico introduced himself a little because he is, if the biggest for sure. I don't remember exactly how they call that in US, but he's the guy that do the announcements during the air shows, and he tries to pass in a very simple way to most of the public. And try to translate what we are doing. So his question basically is, which sort of emotions do you want to create for the public? So that was the first question. And the second one, and I think he did actually 3 questions. The second one is, if you would be invited to come to Brazil to fly an air show, how would you react? And the third question would be, how have you seen the aerobatics in Brazil, not only because of me during these previous years, but because he told that there were a lot of Brazilian pilots in the past, 10, 20 years ago, a few of them representing Brazil in the international competition. So he wanted to know, how do you see the aerobatics in Brazil right now?
Well, please, Rob, you are the Ayatollah of air shows. Please, go ahead.
As far as the emotion for air shows, I think the number one thing is just inspiration. When I was a kid, I went to an air show and I was inspired to become an air show performer someday. And I think part of my job as an air show performer is to inspire people to pursue and to go after their dreams, whether they want to be a pilot or a doctor or whatever, to just have a plan A, don't have a plan B, and go for whatever it is that you want to do. And then the second part of the job is just to introduce people to aviation, show them that it's fun and it's exciting and there's a passion there and there's some great people, and to hopefully get more people involved, or at least get them a better understanding of what we do and to entertain them. What was the second question?
If you'd been invited to come to Brazil, what do you think about coming to Brazil?
I think that'd be awesome. I would love to come to Brazil and perform down there, or even just watch an air show down there. That would be great.
Great. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you remember, have you seen any Brazilian pilot except me and Marcio lately in previous international competition in past, like 10, 15 years ago? Do you remember that?
I don't remember. I mean, I've watched on YouTube some Brazilian aerobatic pilots, and it's really fun to watch. The military team, I apologize, I forget what their name are, but they've come to the States before, and I've performed at air shows with them.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun to watch, and great guys to hang out with. So, yeah, it's very inspirational to see.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
So, Vadico, ele respondeu que, como um piloto de show aéreo, primeira missão é inspirar, assim como ele foi inspirado no show aéreo, inspirar as pessoas a fazer a aviação, a entrar na aviação, a acrobacia, assim como ele foi contaminado por isso. E também de motivar as pessoas em relação à aviação, talvez não todos aqueles que queiram realmente ser completamente apaixonados por isso, mas entender que a aviação é uma coisa bacana, que é uma coisa emocionante. Então, basicamente, o trabalho dele é esse. Em relação ao Brasil, ele falou que adoraria vir voar, ou até mesmo assistir um show aéreo, ele adoraria. Em relação aos pilotos, ele falou que não lembra muito bem do passado, mas tem monitorado alguns pilotos ultimamente e teve bons tempos com o pessoal da Fumaça, que já foi aos Estados Unidos voar, enfim.
Yes.
Achou caras excelentes de andar junto, divertidos, enfim, adorou.
Perfect. Muito bom.
Now, Castor.
Well, yes, I agree with Rob. I always remember first time I saw an aerobatic air show, and I was really impressed. But you have always the doubt if you can do it or not do it, no? So I not only try to do a fantastic air show just to impress and to get closer to the guys, saying, wow, this can be done. So then I like, and I know Rob does that as well, try to speak with the people, to tell them that they can do it, to make a little bit of, spread the information that is fly, generally, aerobatics especially, and flying generally is not impossible. They can do it, and they can join us in the blue. So that's part of my goal. So yes, Rob, it's that. Just bring more people to the sport, to the air. Can be done. It's it's not difficult. It's nice. It's one of the most beautiful things you can do in your life. So why not? About to be invited to Brazil. Tell me when. And about you, I mean, the pilots of Brazil, I've been always looking at you, because you are, as we are in Spain, part of the old Soviet school. You, Francis, I remember, you were the Brazilian having a Sukhoi. Remember? And coming here since 2001. Come on, let's go, guys. I'm looking for a plane. Let's go. I want to. So since 2001, we met in Burgos. We're having closed, and now lately has been Marcio Oliveira as well as Sukhoi guy. So all my respect, strong pilots, good pilots, and yeah, you have a good base. But as always, I think you have. And excuse me if maybe I'm speaking without 100% of knowledge, but I think in Brazil, the same and the rest of the countries, we need more base. No. There is a group of people that are very motivated, but we need to work more on the base, get more base of pilots to get more on the top. So, well, if it is not, if you have a great base, please tell us how to do it, because we are so hard that we cannot get it.
No, absolutely correct. Vadico, ele falou que concorda com o Rob, que ele, como piloto de show aéreo, obviamente, é inspirar os outros, motivar, e principalmente tentar dizer que pode ser feito, que é uma coisa simples, que é atingível, é tangível, que as pessoas podem chegar lá, porque realmente é uma coisa bonita, a aviação é uma coisa bacana, e que tem que se tornar acessível, né? Em relação a vir ao Brasil, ele perguntou quando, né, que ele pode vir ao Brasil. E em relação ao esporte do Brasil, ele é meu amigo, então não conta a resposta dele. Ele falou que vem me observando há muito tempo e tem respeito por mim por eu ter voado Sukhoi, porque ele sabe da dificuldade. Não vamos dizer dificuldade, mas de quão especial é essa máquina russa, o Sukhoi. E então ele tem grande respeito, mas sabe da nossa dificuldade, assim como a maioria dos países no mundo, de criar uma base, fomentar uma base que dê suporte ao esporte, que é o que a gente vem tentando fazer aqui com as associações, com o CBA, e até com essa live, por exemplo, tentar motivar as pessoas para que elas possam se conectar de alguma forma com esse esporte, talvez não só como pilotos, nós precisamos de voluntários, nós precisamos de juízes, nós precisamos até de gente admirando, de gente entendendo, e isso tudo faz parte do conjunto.
Isso. Ok, Vadico. Vamos lá.
Tenho mais uma para o Francis?
Sim.
Posso?
Pode.
Claro, Vadicão.
Bom, é assim, primeiro vocês vão rir depois da gente, né? Mas infelizmente vai ter que ser assim. Que é aquela do, cadê vovô? Depois você explica. Mas olha, eu venho do aeromodelismo, eu fui infectado primeiramente pelo aeromodelismo, né? E na sequência, tremendo susto uma vez, que foi o susto que me trouxe para a narrativa da acrobacia, que foi a coisa mais incrível que aconteceu na minha vida nesses últimos 30 anos, quando, em um rasante fenomenal aqui na cidade de Tietê, o Luiz Guilherme Riqueri, com o Sukhoi 31, ingressou num box de acrobacia para puxar uma vertical e ir lá para Jesus Fera, e e foi quando eu comecei a ter contato com esse tipo de aviação. E o Sukhoi é um avião que me impressiona, eu sou apaixonado por esse avião também. E é isso que eu queria dizer. E também pedindo aqui uma oportunidade a vocês de dizer que, para incentivar novas gerações agora, que é o nosso intuito, depois de tanto tempo fazendo isso, juntamente com todos os integrantes da aviação de acrobacia do Brasil, o nosso intuito é esse. Nós vamos pôr aí no dia 4, 5 e 6 de junho, até estou com esse nosso uniforme, ao Crazy Vadico Aero, que é uma nova ideia para o circuito de aviação do Brasil, buscando incentivar novas gerações, tanto no modelismo quanto na aviação.
Positivo.
Então, convido a todos que acompanhem pelo YouTube e tal. Francis, a minha pergunta para você é o seguinte: você tem um histórico de acrobacia no Brasil simplesmente fantástico. O poder de concentração que você agrega no momento de competição ou do show aéreo, você realmente impressiona com isso, porque eu observo esse tipo de coisa e acho muito importante isso. Eu quero saber de você, com todo esse conhecimento agregado que você já tem dentro da acrobacia e tudo que você já fez e todas as fases que você passou, qual o seu objetivo agora para o futuro próximo na acrobacia brasileira, representando o Brasil, mas fora daqui, no quintal desses caras que estão aí? O que você pretende fazer? É isso que eu quero saber.
Vadico, seria importante deixar essa pergunta, a gente grava essa pergunta, porque o último bloco é exatamente essa pergunta que você fez. Então, se você não se importar, a gente aguarda para o Francis responder. O que você acha, Francis?
Não, problema. Não tem problema. Eu queria agradecer a presença do Vadico, fiquei muito feliz.
Exatamente essa pergunta.
Muito obrigado, Vadico. Eu acho que a tua presença aqui era fundamental. E a gente continua e depois eu te respondo. Eu prometo que eu respondo.
Vadico, obrigado. E exatamente nós vamos fazer essa pergunta, vamos deixar para o Robin responder. Muito obrigado. I'd like to invite now a great pilot, a great aerobatic pilot, Gunnar Armin. Welcome.
Bom, boa noite, Marcos. Boa noite, Francis. Good evening, Rob. And buenas noches, Castor.
Buenas
I'm a huge fan of you all, guys. It's an honor to be here. If you allow me, I will ask the question first in Portuguese, then in English, so the people around will understand better. Bom, esses pilotos, tanto o Rob quanto o Cássio, são muito conhecidos mundialmente como pilotos de acrobacia de precisão, top mesmo, né? E aí eu me permito dizer que mais ainda em estilo livre. O Rob tem ganho todos os campeonatos, o Cássio também já foi vice algumas vezes, e eu gostaria de saber a impressão deles, a diferença das duas, da acrobacia clássica de competição para a acrobacia de estilo livre, e onde eles se divertem mais, onde eles têm mais prazer de fazer, e até que ponto elas estão conectadas entre si. Hi guys, you are all known to be excellent top-level classic aerobatic competition, and also even more, I can say, in freestyle. So you are top in freestyle. And I'd like to ask you, what do you think about the differences in both disciplines? Where do you have more joy? Where do you have more fun? And how are they connected in each other, the two kinds of competition? Thank you.
Good question.
Okay. More fun. I think both are very, very interesting. For me, both are great. And it's interesting, but because I think, and correct me, Rob, if I'm wrong, I think our approaches to the was opposite. I began in classic, and I got a high level in classic before to get a good level in freestyle. Rob, on the other hand, was very well known in freestyle, a fantastic, terrific freestyle performer, and then has been growing up in classic till the top. So you can do it both ways. So the idea is to get full control of the plane. For me, it was easier to begin to learn how to deal with the plane from the rigid rules of the classic. And then I got the feeling of the plane from that side. And then that made me understand things that were happening in the freestyle. So one thing takes you to the other, because you are not a full pilot till you do not get knowledge of both of it. It's like ballet, no? The modern the dancers, modern ballet dancers, usually come from the classic, no? But nobody says that a good modern dancer cannot be and not necessarily a good classic dancer, no? Here in aerobatics, I think that the roads are crossing, and you can jump from one to the other. And if you are good in one, you can be good in the other. And well, I think these two pilots you have, I mean, even Francis. So we have been doing crossing all our experience to get a good level in both. So.
Rob.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I enjoy both equally. To me, the classical side of it, it challenges me to be as precise and as perfect as I can be, and really challenges me as a pilot. And then the freestyle challenges my mind to be as creative as I can be and try to figure out what I can actually do with an airplane. And I do think they complement each other, because even in the freestyle, you still have to be disciplined. You have to have precision. If you'll place things in the aerobatic box where you want to put them. I think a lot of that knowledge and skill comes from the classical side. So I enjoy both the same. I think they are different disciplines in a way, but they complement each other very well.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. I will ask Francis as well what he thinks about it.
No, that is a very good question, Gunnar. And I have, well, in freestyle, I think no one can say anything here with Rob in front of us. But let me tell you something. When I was in South Africa, one of the most beautiful figures I have seen in my life was performed by Castor. He climbed it with his Sukhoi 31, I think, to the top of the box, and he came as crazy as a hell doing snaps, 8-point rolls, 4-point rolls, roll. And on the bottom of the box, then he did a rumpty-bumpty. That was so brilliant, so amazing. That was really art. So you realize when a pilot is really flying well, when everybody starts to look to the sky, because then you transform a sport in magic. Everyone starts to look that. And this achievement, it's done not from night to day. It takes a little bit of time. And I agree with both of them. You need to build up it consistently in both sides. Honestly, maybe someone have done that before, but I don't see any pilot that can be just focused, okay, I'm going to be super good in 4 minutes and or the other one, because this natural skill, it comes together to complete have a complete control of the aircraft. Of course, sometimes you are better in some discipline or the other, as Rob, for example, is just magical in 4 minutes. But again, his precision flying, just as Castor said, grew up a lot at the point that he's a top level pilot right now. And Castor as well, he behaved as a 4 minutes freestyle. It's unbelievable. He's doing figures that no one is doing. So when you achieve that level, it's when you are getting to the point that you transform your flight in art. And maybe I'm getting longer, but it's just because the previous question from Vajiko was very good. Which sort of emotion? I don't think, honestly, both of them, as I am, we are really interested in when you're flying to get people with emotions. We are just trying to fly as best as you can. And when you do that, naturally, you transform your style in art. And art is something that, unfortunately, we cannot describe, because everyone has different emotions, different feelings. And I think that's the beauty of life. That's the beauty of flight. that the perspective that each one see things are completely different. So I don't know if I went too far, but the thing is, when you fly really good, you're not an athlete anymore. You are an artist.
Yeah, this bond between the pilot, the airplane, and the audience. This is interesting about the freestyle. Yeah, it is very nice.
Sure. But before Gunnar Arm leaving our live, I'd like to ask you to show in few minutes, Gunnar Armin, this aircraft behind you, and talking about this record that you won in the past. And this is an aircraft made by the Brazilian engineer and by the Brazilian Federal University, yes, in Minas Gerais states. This aircraft was made exactly to do this, to win this record. Talk a little bit, Captain.
Yes, in fact, we had two aircrafts like this. The first one was CEA 308, and it was built in the university there, and I was part of the team. My part was to fly the airplane, and we won 4 speed records in FAA class until 300 kilos maximum takeoff weight. And this one is Anakin, is the second aircraft in a class that's a little bit heavier in weight. It's up to 500 kilos, and we'll have 5 speed records on this one. And I was the guy with the best view in the whole project. So this was very nice. I'm very honored to be in this project as well. But it's a teamwork, very nice. And in all, we have 9 world speed records that are still remaining. So they're really nice things. I'm very, very, very proud of this.
Sure.
That's problem.
Acho que eu tenho que falar em português também, né? De repente você mesmo pode falar.
Não, pode traduzir, me ajuda um pouco aí, pode traduzir a resposta.
Bom, então, o Marcos perguntou sobre esse avião que está atrás de mim. Esse aí é o Anakin, é o CE 311, mas a história toda, nós temos 2 aviões que foram construídos na Universidade Federal de Minas Gerais. Eu sou parte do time que conquistou 9 recordes mundiais, primeiro com o CE 308, que é um avião da categoria com peso máximo de decolagem até 300 quilos. E nós conquistamos 4 recordes mundiais, e depois veio esse aí atrás, que é o Anakin, que foi na categoria até 500 quilos de peso máximo de decolagem, e nós conquistamos mais 5 recordes mundiais. A soma dos recordes são 9 recordes permanecem válidos, e eu sou a pessoa do time que tinha a melhor vista, que era o que estava pilotando, mas todos têm a importância igual, né? São mais de 30 pessoas envolvidas, o projeto em si foi do Paulo Scold.
Okay. Thank you, Gunnar, for your participation.
You're welcome, my pleasure.
It's very good participation. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now the last one is our friend Ricardo Soriani. Is a pilot as well, and represent our support HANGAR 33. Okay.
Boa noite,
Ricardo, seja bem-vindo.
Boa noite, Abreu. Obrigado aí. Boa noite, Francis. Boa noite, Rob, Castor.
Boa noite.
Na verdade, para nós da HANGAR 33 é um prazer fazer parte aí da live de vocês. A marca ela compactua muito com o trabalho desses pilotos, e então para a gente é um prazer fazer parte dessa história que vocês estão fazendo. E na verdade a minha pergunta é uma curiosidade minha, que eu vejo um pouco da competição, eu acompanho um pouco da história dos 3 pilotos, e sendo sempre campeões, vindo resultados, vem uma certa responsabilidade em ser campeão, né? E eu queria saber deles se existe uma pressão de ser favorito, porque nos campeonatos, quando a gente vai assistir, a gente quer ver se eles vão voar bem, porque a gente já espera que eles vão voar bem. Então, eu queria saber se o ser favorito é bom ou não é muito bom. E no final eu queria fazer um convite.
Francis,
okay. Well, Ricardo is representing HANGAR 33 brand. It's a very famous close brand here in Brazil, and they are inspired in aviation. He is an Antonov 2 pilot. Unfortunately, the Antonov we cannot see right now. And he said that he's very honored to be among us. And his question is, once we have won championships, things like that, if being favorite in a championship creates a little bit more pressure under us, because as an spectator, whenever we are going to fly, he believes us that he wants us to see how we are going to perform, because they believe that we are going to win. So that's basically his question.
Castor?
Good. Okay. I can tell you a couple of examples about that. I think it will be clear. My first medal in an aerobatic competition was in the known program in the World Championship 2007. So I was I was not the best pilot in the team, but probably I was the most aggressive and motivated. So I won the Q. Wow. So first time in the life, you were flying in Spain. A lot of people that you know were there. All your idols, the top pilots looking at you to fly the free known. And I flew, I think, one of the last. And we had a very, very special program. You know that in that moment, we were flying the Q, that was a standard program for everybody. Then the free, that was designed by you. It's kind of the free unknown now. And then the unknowns, 2 unknowns. And our free was very special. We designed it with Vitas Lapenas, a program, instead to begin like everybody with high energy, 350 kilometers per hour, then a vertical and a lot of rolls and blah, 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 blah. We were beginning the program at 150 meters with a rolling circle. So after being first, you begin the program from behind the judges with the Sukhoi, just cutting the engine, overflying on top of the judges from behind, and then you win rock to say, hey, guys, I'm coming. So, something is happening. They don't understand what. And then you begin to create energy. So imagine I was first, and I was going to do a free program that never tried it before. And I couldn't resist the stress. Basically, I tried to maintain position, not to fly as I was flying normally, so aggressively, very motivated. No, I tried to maintain the position, and I shit it up. Over. That was over. First example. Second example, 2014, I won the European Unlimited Championship. 2015, world champion in Muret. So you are the favorite, no? You won the last year, so this year, what are you going to do? Woo! I did my best, but pressure is. I don't know. Next time, Rob, you have won the world championship of freestyle 5 times. So, wow! So I cannot imagine that. So it must be 100 times worse. No, for me, is too much stress. So everybody looking at you. I isolate myself in one side when I'm competing. I don't look the flights except several very special flights. The rest is not important for me. I'm focused on myself. So if everybody's looking at you, wow. Rob, please.
I think for every pilot, it's different depending upon your personality and how you deal with things. Mm-hmm. And the way I approach it is, I look at the sport and I realize there's no defense in the sport, right? I can't be I shouldn't be able to affect how somebody else flies their airplane. The only thing I can do is affect how I fly my airplane. And of course we want to win, we want to compete against people, we want to do the best that we can. But I'm always there to compete against myself. And I know how I flew last time and I want to fly better this time. And that's how I judge and rank myself. And to me, that takes a little bit of the pressure off, because I can't affect how Castor is going to fly his airplane, how Francis is going to fly his airplane. They're going to fly it great. So all I can do is fly mine the best that I can, and wherever the chips land, they land. And to me, that takes some of the pressure off me, because now the pressure is just within myself. And that's not how everybody handles it or does it, but that's how I approach it.
Well, Eu vou tentar traduzir, Ricardo. As duas respostas são muito interessantes. São respostas um pouco diferentes, mas muito interessantes. O Castor, ele te deu 2 exemplos. Primeiro foi um campeonato em 2007, que ele, no primeiro programa, na época era programa conhecido, depois o programa free e depois o desconhecido. E no primeiro ele ganhou, porque, obviamente, ele estava motivado, ele foi bem agressivo. E aí, no segundo programa, que era um programa especial que tinha sido desenhado pelo Vitor Lapenas, ele começava, ao invés de começar lá de cima do box high speed, ele começava embaixo, e começava lento, fazendo uma rolling turn. Então, ele sabia que isso já ia impressionar os juízes, por si só. Só que, obviamente, ele entrou para manter a posição dele de primeiro lugar, e isso aí não foi o suficiente, ele perdeu o campeonato. Depois ele deu um outro exemplo em 2014, onde ele foi campeão do campeonato europeu, e aí tivemos o campeonato em 2015 em Châteauroux, na França, e obviamente ele tentou o melhor dele, mas não teve o resultado esperado, e ele acha que a pressão, obviamente, acabou afetando um pouco, porque por mais que ele se isole, por mais que ele se concentre, ter todo mundo olhando para você é realmente uma coisa impressionante. E aí ele acabou passando a bola para o Rob, dizendo, o Rob talvez saiba lidar melhor com isso, porque foi 5 vezes campeão mundial de freestyle. E o Rob deu uma resposta interessante, que ele diz que esse é um esporte que não tem defesa, né? Você não está brigando com outra pessoa, então você não precisa se defender. Então não tem como o Rob, por exemplo, afetar o meu voo ou o voo do Castro. A gente vai voar o que a gente vai voar. Então a única coisa que ele pode fazer é voar o melhor possível. Então talvez esse approach dele tenha ajudado ele nas competições. Então ele tenta sempre fazer o melhor que ele pode.
Muito legal.
Ok.
Obrigado. Eu queria fazer um convite. Se caso o Castor aceitar o convite do Vadico de vir para o Brasil, que ele pelo menos ele mate à vontade e ele voa Antonov de novo.
Wow. I think Castor got it, but Castor was just invited to fly the Antonov here in Brazil.
No problem. In the right or in the left? Do I have brakes or not?
Ele quer saber se ele pode voar na esquerda ou pode voar na direita.
Onde ele quiser.
Whatever you want, Castor.
Okay, choose the left. Good.
The Antonov and this 3 plan that is behind you.
Ok. Valeu, pessoal. Obrigadão e parabéns.
Ok, Ricardo.
Obrigado, Ricardo.
Okay, thank you, Ricardo. Okay, now before to go to the third block, because we have several questions, I'd like to show one thing for all of you. Captain Rob Holland has a site, Ultimate Air Shows. You can access this ultimateairshows.com, and he has Instagram, Rob Holland 5150, and as well Captain Castor Fantoba, the same, a beautiful site, and unlimitedaerobatics.com, and the Instagram is Castor Fantoba. And our friend Francis Barros, just Instagram, Francis _Barros _aerobatics, and access and follow this guy because it's amazing site. Both sites is very beautiful sites. And and now I'd like to go to the third block. It's a question from the audience, and we have several questions. I will check here, but I'd like to say that we have here in our audience Captain Márcio Oliveira, that was noted by the Castor. Márcio Oliveira is here, and here. Great pleasure to see you, Guy, Grand Castor, Grand Francis, and he said the Rob freestyle legend. And a young girl, Brazilian girl, that is flying now in the United States, and she's amazing. She's a very good pilot, aerobatic pilot. The name is Juliana. let me see the message that Juliana sent us. Juliana, here, Juliana. Sorry about this.
It means that you have a lot of
here.
people.
Juliana Fraschetti is an amazing girl, amazing aerobatic pilot that she's flying now in United States. So it's inspiration, motivation, the Brazilian pilots to go to the United States and trying to fly better and better. And okay, the question, we have several questions. One that was made by Captain Célio Eugênio was that the question is, I believe that all these great aerobatics pilots should be incentivized to create upset recovery training, international schools for airline pilots around the world. What do you think about this?
Well, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, I think as far as aerobatic pilots trying to train airline pilots for upset training, I mean, I think there's definitely some value there. I think aerobatic pilots that are also airline pilots or fly that type of airplanes could be more useful. I don't fly that. I pretty much only fly small airplanes. So I think someone like Castor could probably do that significantly better than I could.
No, I don't think so. Easier, man. Now, regarding the question, you know, you can take some information from one side and put it on the other, but of course you need to be to know both worlds. I mean, not because you are a good aerobatic pilot, you are going to be a good trainer for an airliner. So the business is different, the machine is different. You can add things. No, I can say that on my side we have been doing training to instructors on airliners, like in a very well-known charter Turkish company. We did simulator training based on our experience on airliners and aerobatics to train the guys, the instructors, to provide UPRT training to the pilots of the company. However, it's yes, you need to be an expert. You need to be helped by people that knows a lot about psychology. It's not only question of techniques, how to move the levers to get the result. Is a lot about what happened when something that is not planned comes, with something breaks, with you get in a mind is very strange and it's not only a mechanical thing or a technical thing. It's more things involved. We can add value, but I don't think that we are the most important part of the equation. We can add some help to this training, but just that.
Okay.
Well, to try to translate it simple, Rob acha que é importante, mas ele achou melhor o Castor ajudar na resposta, porque ele voa apenas aviões pequenos, então ele passou a bola para o Castor. E o Castor acredita que é complexa essa pergunta, porque são duas disciplinas, são duas atividades completamente diferentes. Obviamente, você pode complementá-las, né? Você pode adicionar conhecimento que vai ser importante, mas é muito difícil quantificar o quanto isso seria fundamental ou válido, porque para voar num voo de linha aérea, por exemplo, não basta só a capacidade psicomotora de mexer no manche, de mexer na potência, é uma capacidade mais cognitiva, de relacionamento interpessoal, de liderança, de saber reagir corretamente em situações inesperadas, de uma forma que te leve a uma solução adequada, e isso muitas vezes não tem uma fórmula para ser seguida. Então, é por isso que é uma pergunta bastante interessante do Célio, mas bastante complexa.
Ok. Okay.
I would like to add, if you let me, it's about this point, and I will ask the manufacturers to put more information in the booklets of the airliners. I'm not going to speak especially in any model and in any manufacturer, but really the guys that knows well about this are the test pilot of the manufacturers. Please, guys, be a little bit, have pity with us and give us some information of how these big babies move on the sky and what happened when the things go wrong. I know most of the airline pilots in the world, you think we are idiots, but please give us some directions to do something to do if something like that happened. No? The thing is, in the past, the test pilots were doing all the job, really putting the planes in very difficult situations and showing others how to recover that. Now Davies is a test pilot from the UK that made the certification of a lot of those ugly planes that the British manufactured in the 60s and 70s. But it's terrific how this guy writes and explain what to do, how to use the speed brake, how to move this, that, and when you feel that the vibration of the structure decreases, that you have done it. Come on, you cannot read this in a Boeing booklet, no? In the flight crew training manual. Okay, vibration disappears, everything goes okay. Come on, no. So we would like to have more information. As I'm now speaking as an airline pilot, to have some good information coming from the test pilots. Of course, we are not idiots. We are not going to put the plane in vertical going down just to check if that's true or not. But if this happened, to know the things that we can do.
Eu acho que bem bacana essa adição do Castor. Ele fez uma adição dizendo que ele acha que um pouco dessa responsabilidade também é dos fabricantes, porque ele acredita que antigamente os pilotos de prova, eles realmente testavam todo o envelope do avião e tinham conhecimento das coisas que aconteciam. Hoje, cada vez mais se testa um pouco menos e se coloca menos coisas nos manuais, nos livros, e se passa menos conhecimento dos pilotos. Então, ele até fez uma brincadeira, ele falou: não considerem nós, pilotos, como idiotas, que só porque está escrito o que acontece se eu botar o avião na vertical, eu vou fazer uma vertical, mas nos deem informação, é isso que ele está pedindo.
Sim, okay.
And on top of that, I'd like to add something, because this conversation about aviation, about airlines, it can last forever.
Yes.
It can last forever. But one thing I totally agree, and I think among us, everyone agrees. Training is fundamental. And unfortunately, due the economy aspect of training, the manufacturers and the industry is trying to reduce more and more training. So it's very complex theme to talk about. Maybe we can do another live in future, maybe, Marcos, to talk about that. But again,
yes,
it's all about knowledge and training.
Yes, sure. And one of the first question was to Captain Rob Holland, and which led you to choose your current Mike X-ray Sierra? I don't know, MXS plane. Tell us a little bit about the aircraft.
So back in, I think it was 2006, I was at an air show down in Florida called Sun and Fun. It's a big aviation event. And gentleman Chris Meyer, who came up with the MX, had his first one there, the prototype. It was a two-seater. And I was looking at it, I thought it was kind of cool. And he invited me to do an evaluation flight on it if I was ever in the area. So 6 months later, I happened to be around where he was in the airplane. So I gave him a call, and he said, yeah, come fly the airplane. And I flew it, and I was like, oh, this is really nice. So I kind of fell in love with the airplane, and we kind of worked things out, and I ended up getting a two-seater, an MX2. And then many years later, 2011, I worked with them and got a single-seater, but I wanted some modifications on it. I wanted the rudder to be different, the elevator to be different, some other mods, control deflection. And they were good enough to work with me and basically give me what I asked for. And that's how I got basically into the MXS. And now the company's owned by an Australian gentleman. It's actually built down in Australia now. And I just got a new one a few years ago. And I just kind of fell in love with the airplane. It's the plane's personality matches my personality, and I just fit into it. I never feel like I'm getting into the airplane. I feel like I'm putting it on, and it just becomes an extension of me. And it fits and does everything that I want it to do.
Para traduzir, então, a história do MX, eu acho que é interessante adicionar que basicamente era uma companhia, MX, e em 2006 o Rob estava fazendo um show aéreo em San Juan, e aí ele viu o avião, era um avião de 2 lugares, ele olhou, achou, pô, isso é legal, e aí o Chris, que era o dono e designer na época, falou, tu não quer fazer uma avaliação do avião para mim? 6 meses depois ele voou o avião e se apaixonou pelo avião. E aí ele acabou tendo um avião de 2 lugares, aí em 2011 ele conseguiu ter o avião dele single seat, de um lugar só, onde ele fez as modificações que ele queria, ele pediu algumas modificações, como um rudder maior, um profundor maior, com uma ordem de flexão, e para ele serviu, então funcionou bem, o avião caiu como uma luva, se adequou à personalidade dele, e hoje quando ele voa é como se o avião fosse uma roupa, ele veste o avião e voa o avião como se fosse uma roupa. Então foi um amor. Hoje o avião é feito na Austrália, e ele teve um avião novo agora em 2019. Was it in 2019 your new plane?
Yes, I got in 2019.
Yeah, 2019. Yeah.
Okay. And Captain Castor Fantoba, what about your plane?
Well, it's a standard plane. I can tell you nothing, or my ARC will be revoked. Well, basically, it's a Monty Barrett M14 PF. Thanks, Rhonda. Great work. And, well, the plane is the same plane I bought in 1999. And, of course, different painting. And some, for example, we installed the Sukhoi 31 rudder. It's an approved change from Sukhoi. And as well, we have the engine mounting from the Sukhoi 31. That is a titanium ring. So, and of course, we have removed all the useless weight. We have, well, in fact, the last owner did a lot of great work, removing all the cables, all the equipment for testing from the plane. So it's basically the controls, the engine, and nothing else. And well, I'm sorry, but it's a certified plane, kind of. So. We tried other things in the past. You know, the 31 I flew in South Africa, which Francis was speaking about. It was in 2015, I think, 2014, with a couple of friends, Niels HANGAR and Dominic Andres, and in collaboration with Philip Steinbach, the designer of the Extreme. We produced a fantastic beast called the Angry Fish. I don't know if you have heard about it. And it was an S-Bach with a Rayleigh line engine and Monty Barrett engine of 450 horsepower and a 280-meter propeller. Unfortunately, the project was good till Philip decided to leave the company. So the project was just in the limit to be finished with some small problems with the landing gear. So the project was abandoned. And we used all this knowledge to put it on a Sukhoi 31. That was the one you, Francis, saw in South Africa. Nice thing about this plane, you can maintain 170 kilometers per hour going down in the vertical. So you can do 8-point roll, take it easy, then a couple of snaps, and then going up again with no problem.
That was brilliant. That was magical.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
But
well,
nothing else.
O Castor tem um Sukhoi, ele fez uma brincadeira, o avião dele é certificado, então o avião dele é standard, né? Não pode ter nenhuma modificação, mas o que ele pode dizer é que o avião dele tem um motor Montberry com 450 HP, ele tirou todo o peso do avião, colocou um rudder de Sukhoi 31 e algumas outras modificações. Mas o que eu posso dizer para todos é que quando se chega nesse nível de acrobacia, obviamente o piloto faz os seus ajustes como um carro de Fórmula 1. Ninguém vai para a Fórmula 1 com um carro estoque. Até porque não é uma questão de ter um carro melhor ou não, é a questão de fazer o seu ajuste pessoal, ajuste de comando, ajuste de motor. Então, todos esses aviões de acrobacia nesse nível, não diria todos, porque o Extra 330 SC, que é um avião certificado, a maioria dos pilotos estão usando ele de uma maneira estoque. Mas boa parte aí dos pilotos de alto nível tem as suas modificações, que muitas vezes não são grandes, mas fazem as suas modificações em relação à motorização, hélice e ajuste de comando.
Okay. And we have one question that I will make together two questions. Okay. This guy, Jimmy Smith, said to Rob Holland, when I watch Rob performance at an air show, I can't stop thinking about how someone can take so many Gs for so long. And another guy asked to Captain Francis Barros, what's a good exercise to handle with G-force, or at least improve the tolerance when you don't fly so often? So I think that the two questions, just one question, how to be able to suffer a high G without please.
I don't know if there is a way to really do it without doing it often. I mean, you have to actually build a G tolerance. I mean, you know the technique, you know how to tighten your legs and your abs and how to try to keep the blood in your head and how to breathe. So there is a technique to it. But the more you do it, the more acclimated you get to it. And you also have to be healthy, you have to stay hydrated, you got to eat right. But it's just one of those things, the more you do it, the more you can do it. And then with the negative G's, I think once you kill enough brain cells, you just don't feel it anymore, and it doesn't affect
you. Bom, o Rob falou que basicamente existem técnicas, né, para a gente controlar o G, técnicas de respiração, técnicas de contração para segurar o sangue, mas basicamente é fundamental que se esteja voando, porque quanto mais se voa, mais o organismo se adapta, né? Então, ele vê como, obviamente, fundamental a pessoa ser sadia, se alimentar bem, estar hidratada, mas tem que estar treinando voando. E para os Gs negativos, ele brincou que depois que tu mata já umas células do cérebro, daí tu já não sente mais nada, então não tem mais diferença.
That's crazy.
Well, my question about how to improve, because I think they know that, unfortunately, due my airline business, I don't fly as much as these guys. I'm not a professional aerobatic pilot. That's why I admire them a lot. But the fact is that I try to concentrate my training before the contest. And on the gaps, what I try to do is to keep myself as healthy as possible. And of course, try to work in the core. The core, what you call core, is try to build up a little bit of muscles in my abdomen and try to do isometric exercises. I think this helps a little. On top of that, if you do some high lift, they say that it helps, but I'm not a very heavy guy, so I just try to keep myself lifting a little bit because I don't want to hurt myself. And I think it's important also to keep doing some activity, some sort of physical activity to maintain yourself in shape. I don't want to say anything specifically because every individual is very different. So maybe what works for me is not going to work for Rob or for Castor, but basically the idea is to keep yourself fit and of course to fly as much as you can. I totally agree with Rob.
Okay.
Então, só para resumir o que eu falei, a ideia, eu concordo com o Rob, que tem que estar voando, isso não tem como fazer diferente. Como eu sou um piloto de linha aérea, não sou como eles, pilotos profissionais que estão sempre voando, eu tento focar o meu treinamento antes dos campeonatos, e nesse meio tempo eu tento me manter saudável. Tento levantar um pouquinho de peso, não muito, para não dar sobrecarga, isometria e trabalhar o abdômen, a região abdominal, para produzir reforço muscular para as costas. Né?
Okay. So we have one question from our audience. Aliás, two questions, and I have one question that in the same context. Okay, it's to Captain Rob Holland. Okay, what are the requirements in the USA and Europe to participate in an air show at the main events? What's the requirements? Another guy said one thing in Portuguese. Francis, please.
Okay. I think he is kidding a little bit, but he's asking you how the FAA approves you to do what you do, and what are the regulations that you have to comply with.
Yes.
It's in a funny, positive way.
Yes, in positive way. And also, I have one question for you. Yes, many occasions it's possible to see photos where you, Rob Holland, interacting especially with Blue Angels. It's not so common to see this type of interaction between military and civil show teams. Yes, and how important in this interaction, and what is the level of difficulty in the United States in performance this interaction between military and civil aerobatic teams?
Well, let me start with the FAA question about what's required to fly air shows. So in the United States, a pilot has to have what's called a Statement of Aerobatic Competency. We call it a SAC card. And basically, a pilot needs to be evaluated by an aerobatic competency evaluator. They fly in front of them. They got to go through an oral exam, checklist of everything you need to know to make sure the person is safe and competent to actually perform in air shows. And we have levels. So when you get your first Statement of Aerobatic Competency, you're limited to 800 feet. You can't fly below that. And after so many performances at so many locations and so much time, you get reevaluated. You can go down to 500 feet, go through the process again, go down to 250 feet, and then eventually you get down to the surface. So there's a lot of checks and balances before you can actually get down to ground level and fly aerobatics. And then we have to be reevaluated every single year to maintain our competency. And we have a pretty good program with that. The FAA is involved. They're very favorable with it. So that's how we're allowed to do what we do. Yeah. That's how it works in the States anyways. Please say your question one more time.
Yes, the question. Okay.
No, go ahead.
No, the question is
Blue Angels.
Yes, exactly. It's about the impact to interact between the military aerobatic teams and the civil. It's easy or not? What happened?
It's not easy. I mean, flying air shows for a living. I do a lot of shows with the Blue Angels or the Thunderbirds or other military jet teams, and you just get to know the members or their friends, and eventually you just build up a level of trust, and you get to know each other. And some opportunities present themselves, and you can go do these photo shoots. And it's important for both sides because it's all about inspiring, and for the military it's about recruiting. And if you can put out these images that are hopefully pleasant to look at. It can maybe inspire some people to get involved in aviation, but it's very rigid. I mean, there's a very thorough briefing. We have a plan. We go and execute that plan. We only work with certain photographers and other pilots because they have to have a photo airplane also. So there's a lot that goes into it, but it's, at the end of the day, it's about trust and getting to know the members of the team and then having trust in you to fly with them.
Ok.
Então, assim, para traduzir rapidamente, o Rob falou que existe um processo nos Estados Unidos onde você é checado e nesse processo o FAA está envolvido, então você começa sendo avaliado por um examinador que tem um checklist e vai checar se você tem o conhecimento teórico e prático para ser competente naquilo que você vai fazer. Você começa com 800 pés de base do seu show aéreo. Depois de um tempo, de um certo número de apresentações, você é reavaliado e pode baixar para 500 pés. Depois de um certo número de apresentações, você é revalidado, pode baixar para 250 pés. E, eventualmente, alguns acabam chegando ao nível do chão. E, todo ano, eles têm que revalidar essa espécie de autorização para voar assim. Em relação aos voos, é porque, como ele é piloto profissional de show aéreo, então ele está sempre encontrando o pessoal dos Blue Angels, dos Thunderbirds e de outras esquadrilhas aí, e aí o pessoal acaba se conhecendo, acaba ficando amigo e eles acabam convidando para fazer esses voos, porque esses voos são importantes para incentivar, para motivar tanto do lado civil quanto do próprio lado militar, porque o objetivo da esquadrilha é exatamente esse, é fomentar a aviação, né? Então, só que tudo é muito bem treinado, é muito rígido, com briefings. Apenas alguns fotógrafos com aviões preparados especiais voam com eles, então é tudo muito rígido, tecnicamente falando.
Entendo. Okay, thank you. Okay, I have just one more question. We are approached to the final of our live. It's necessary to understand that we have here almost 2 hours, and Captain Castor Fantoba is maybe 4 or 5 hours ahead, and Captain Francis Barros the same, and fantastic lives so far. And but I have one question, and then I think that's better to go to the last block, just to final message, and then about the perspectives about the future. So, eu vou falar em português primeiro, depois eu faço a pergunta. Eu vou perguntar agora para o Castor Fantoba sobre um importante marco da carreira dele, que eu estudei um pouquinho sobre a carreira dos dois, e teve um período que ele foi embaixador da Espanha. Então, eu entendo que tem aí uma importância muito grande, né? E dá para se perceber a importância de uma atividade de acrobacia aérea, né? De aviação aerodesportiva para fomentar não só a aviação, mas como para levar o nome de um país a outros cantos do mundo, porque a aviação é algo mundial. A aviação não é uma coisa local, né? Então, my question is now to Castor Fantoba, né? His biography has an important milestone that was to have been the ambassador of the Span brand between 2014 and 2018. And therefore, an evident demonstration of how this type of activity has the potential to amplify the name of a country in a very positive way. Could you tell us how this important happened and how it impacted the aerobatic activity in Spain?
Well, I don't really in Spain. This action was not prepared to impact in Spain. Was to impact in other countries, no, just to reflect what was important or representative of Spain, especially in sports. You know, in the last years, Spain, especially in the last decade, has been very important. Well, you know, Rafa Nadal, we have been very good football players. We have had good musicians. So the Ministry of Exterior Affairs decided to create an office just to name ambassadors of the brand Spain to certain sportsmen, certain professionals that were interesting, important to show the world what can be in Spain, not just, flamenco and tapas, no? So, and as well, flamenco and tapas, of course.
Sure, sure.
But not only that, we're a little bit wider than that. So to get out of the topics, they decided this, and it worked well. It was an honor to meet Embajador López Jorín, the ambassador of Spain in Hungary, that was there the year that we had the European Championship in there. And he decided that couldn't be let it go, no? So they called the Great Commission for this, for Marca España, and they say, look, these guys are fantastic. We must put them in the group, and they are really showing up. What are we? And we tried to. We did a lot of things in other countries, just trying to help our country in just to show everybody that Spain was not like a band of just lazy guys just having fun and under the sun, but a good country with a lot of things to offer to others. We are good workers. We are good friends of our friends, and Spain was a good place to be. And that was the project. I was involved. It was a great honor, and that finished in 2-3 years ago, when the office was changed in another. A political change that changed in another way. So instead of put in front guys that were doing things special, the new logo was everybody's special. So if everybody's special, you don't need special guys, no? So it changed. But I think apart from the political thing, as I said, it's clear which is my opinion. I prefer to be looking somebody special that motivates me, that just think that I'm special and I don't need to look anybody, no? However, it was a great idea, worked well. We were together with great people like Rafa Nadal, it's a monster. It's a terrific guy. And Gasol, that is another terrific guy, playing basket, and great guys. And great project. That it's all I can say. It was an honor, great project, and it worked well.
Okay.
Bom, para explicar, o Castor foi embaixador da Espanha por um período onde houve um projeto que a ideia era mostrar que a Espanha era muito mais do que flamenco, tacos, né? E música flamenca. Então, ele em 2014 teve a honra de conhecer o embaixador na Hungria e foi convidado para participar desse hall de personalidades que representam e representavam muito bem a Espanha. E aí ele teve a oportunidade de estar com o Rafael Nadal, que dispensa comentários, do tênis, do atleta de basquete Gasol, enfim, todas essas personalidades, e o Castor é uma personalidade dessas, ele representa muito bem a Espanha, não só como um brilhante atleta, mas, como eu disse no início da live, uma pessoa que eu admiro muito como pessoa, pela humildade que ele é. Ele falou que esse projeto para ele não é para ele ser importante como o grande, mas sim para tentar motivar pessoas, que é o que ele está fazendo desde o início da live, e é o que todos nós estamos fazendo aqui. Então, basicamente, essa foi a maior virtude desse projeto, de ser embaixador.
Okay. And one guy, a special guy, the guitarist that died, Paco de Lucia, special violinist in Spain. And okay, the last question was to Captain Rob Holland, just about what's your maximum G-force experience?
Well, after the last World Championships in France, when I was packing the airplane up, I happened to poke at the G meter, and it was plus 13.5 and minus 9.5. So that's, I don't know where and when I did it, but that was.
You were excited this day, huh?
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't know it at the time, but I found out after.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Go to the last block, just to future perspective and final message, and I'd like to invite this Castor Fantoba to say some final words and your perspective from now on, without the pandemic, without this environment, because this is the pandemic environment. It's an offsite situation. So what?
I apologize. Would it be okay if I went first, only because I'm coaching the U.S. advanced team right now? So they only have an hour and a half left of daylight, and they're waiting to fly. So if I could do it, and then apologize for leaving a little bit early, but I have to get back to coaching.
Okay.
Now. Is that okay?
Okay.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Thanks a lot.
No.
Thanks a lot, Captain.
So, I mean, my perspective in the future, I'm optimistic. I do air shows all over the place, and I always see the kids there with the eyes wide open watching. And, you know, there's a lot of people these days, they're all on the computer and they're all on their phones and their heads down, but there are still some people that are looking up at the sky. And those are the people who are trying to get involved, and I think we can get them involved. So it's up to people like us, like you, to inspire these people, but not only to inspire them, but also to enable them, to give them a ride in an airplane, give them the tools to go and learn how to do this stuff. We all, hopefully we're on the tail end of this COVID-19, and it was, you know, a pretty bad experience. We all got stuck at home. We're all not able to fly, but I think the future is good. I think it's optimistic. I think there's a lot of people looking to get out and actually do something now. And maybe there's a silver liner at the end of this whole COVID experience where people, just because they need to do something, we can get some more people learning how to fly and getting involved in aerobatics. And it's our job to find them and bring them in. So I think as long as we do our job, I think the future is optimistic.
Okay, Francis.
That's great. O Rob falou que o futuro ele vê com muito otimismo, porque obviamente teve essa experiência do Covid, que todo mundo ficou trancado em casa, mas é o nosso trabalho de inspirar as pessoas e dar as condições para que elas tenham acessibilidade à acrobacia, à aviação, porque ele vê hoje uma geração muito conectada ao celular, ao iPad, mas por incrível que pareça, e ele fica muito feliz por isso, ainda tem gente que tem paixão pela aviação e que ainda olha para o céu e acredita na aviação. Então, ele é bastante otimista, e o nosso trabalho é esse, de incentivar, dar suporte, levar as pessoas para voar, para experimentarem, ensinar, passar o conhecimento, para que essas pessoas tenham acesso a esse esporte e, fundamentalmente, a aviação, que é uma coisa muito bonita.
Ok. Ele precisa sair agora, né?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rob,
Okay.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you very much for having me. It was an honor to be on. It's been a pleasure.
Okay. I have no words to say thank you, and see you next time. Thank you very much.
Say hi to Don. Hi to Don and Monique, please.
Yeah, I will. Bye, guys.
Speak soon, Rob.
Thank you, Rob. Take care.
Okay. And now, Captain Castor Fantoba, and I said before about the Paco de Lucia, that was the most famous guitar player from Spain, a special guy. And in your opinion about the future perspectives and the final message, what do you think about the future?
Well, of course, I agree absolutely with Rob. Look in the future in a general perspective about aviation. And now speaking about aerobatics, new planes are coming. New formulas of competition are coming. And it's not a wish, it's a fact. And new pilots are coming. New ideas, so all those that are in the old style, they don't want to change, are going to be in trouble because new things are coming and we need to get them. We need to transform aerobatics in a modern sport, in a competition that is absolutely, or in a formula, must be several competitions different. No, the ideas can be different. It's we open the let's say we're open to opinions, to ideas, to put new formulas on competition. And to all those that are thinking that aerobatics is going to be like it is now in the future, I'm very sorry. They are going to be, well, very sad. I cannot say others. So beware, new planes, more powerful, lighter, new formulas. Aerobatic will be one of the future sports. It's not a hope, it will be a reality.
That's great.
Okay.
I think we can do something, if you don't mind.
Yes, we are working in things.
Rob left, and I'm gonna explain. Yeah, the reason why Rob left is because he's coaching the American Advanced team. So he's still in the afternoon time. So they want to fly. So that's the best reason possible to leave.
Oh, sure. Sure.
But now that he left, I think. Castor, do you mind if you speak in Spanish or Portuñol and para todos
well,
ahí?
Any translation, I will ask for that. No, para mí, perfecto.
Então, se tú puedes hablar nuevamente en español, porque así todos te escuchan, ¿no?
Sí.
Bueno, bueno, para todos aquellos, esto también es una primicia, voy a soltar una noticia a nivel mundial, probablemente esté viviendo en Portugal este año. Una vez dicho esto, la ciudad será desvelada pronto. Estoy muy contento de ello, es un fantástico país que es muy acogedor y bueno, tiene todo lo bueno que hemos perdido en España hace mucho tiempo. Y yo soy un tío al viejo estilo, ¿no? Me encuentro muy a gusto en Portugal. Entonces, ese es el primero. Vienen nuevos aviones, más ligeros, más potentes. Vienen nuevas fórmulas de competición. Aparte de lo que ha dicho Rob, que estoy totalmente de acuerdo, pero hablando puramente de acrobacia, lo dicho, nuevos aviones, nuevas motorizaciones, más ligeros, maniobras más radicales, vienen nuevas reglas, nuevas fórmulas de competición y a todos aquellos a los que no les guste o piensen que esto no se va a mover, lo van a pasar mal porque va a cambiar. Y o nuestra querida organización mundial se mueve y empiezan a hacer cosas para que el deporte se modernice o alguien lo va a modernizar por ellos. Y esto no es un deseo, esto es un hecho.
Sí.
Bueno, gracias.
Sí.
Y
okay.
de esto quizás sale otro programa en el futuro. Posiblemente Rob también esté invitado porque también está en ello. Es otra primicia.
Muy bueno, no, me alegro.
Ok. Y Francis Barros tiene una persona que está haciendo para usted una pregunta sobre si cuando tú vienes para competición en Brasil.
Creo que la contestaba antes, ¿no?
Essa é uma pergunta muito interessante. Só para explicar um pouquinho para os meus amigos, eu acho que é importante falar disso também, né? Mas a crise do Covid foi uma crise mundial que expôs a todos, não só a aviação, mas expôs a fragilidade, digamos assim, da essência do ser humano, quão frágil nós somos e quão abençoados, no sentido da palavra, de termos que aproveitar a vida, que a vida é uma coisa magnífica, seja ela no campo espiritual, seja ela no campo físico, metafísico, enfim, poderíamos falar horas sobre isso, mas isso é uma reflexão desse confinamento que todos acabamos de passar e ainda alguns estão passando. E isso não seria diferente numa atividade tão especial como é a aviação, que demanda o trabalho de tanta gente trabalhando para colocar um avião em voo, porque a gente está falando aqui de nós como atletas, mas nós temos uma equipe também. Eu tenho certeza que o Castor também tem o time dele, os mecânicos que ajudam, a família que ajuda, o preparador, o treinador dele. Então, todos esses são importantes e estão por trás. Assim como numa linha aérea, existe uma companhia inteira por trás para fazer o avião voar e os pilotos e os comissários estarem com os passageiros. Então, por que eu estou dizendo isso? Porque tem muita gente boa que está sofrendo em casa, porque perderam seus empregos. Para essas pessoas, eu já falei isso ano passado na nossa live e eu continuo falando. Não desistam. Isso é como uma turbulência, vai passar. É uma turbulência muito forte, está durando bastante tempo, mas continuem tranquilos, continuem voando o avião, né? Fly, navigate, communicate. Então, continuem voando, organizando as suas vidas, porque vai passar. Comigo não foi diferente. Eu acabei vindo voar na África, num projeto bem bacana, que está sendo uma experiência de vida muito legal, mas, infelizmente, agora o projeto está na parte mais aguerrida, então não tem como sair daqui nesse momento. De uma certa forma, talvez eu possivelmente vá perder a competição brasileira do Campeonato Brasileiro, respondendo a pergunta, mas eu tenho amigos na Europa, como Castor, como Roman Falk, talvez eu vá treinar com eles aí, vamos ver. Sim. Então, eu estou vivo, eu não estou morto, eu estou vivo. Mas a questão é que a gente tem que se organizar, a gente tem que ter estratégia, volta aquela história da cabeça, não adianta voar agora, num momento em que as coisas ainda não estão acontecendo. Então, basicamente, a explicação de eu voltar para o Brasil é essa, eu vou voltar quando as coisas aqui na companhia estiverem mais organizadas, eles precisam de mim nesse momento, e está sendo bem bacana.
Ok. Castor, hoje uma persona de Portugal falou com nós outros em Instagram. É amigo de usted, pero de uma pastelaria.
Pastelaria
Aviãozinho.
Renato Gómez, ¿cómo no?
Sí.
Bueno, sí. Hola, desde aquí.
E está seguindo nós outros em Instagram e muito bueno. Pero estamos, então, chegando ao fim desta live e eu me gostaria de agradecer muito a Francis Barros, porque Francis Barros foi a persona que possibilitou fazer isto. Nós outros não conhecemos Castor Fantoba e Rob Holland. Quem conhece e quem essa invitação foi Francis Barros. Então, sou muito grato por isto, muito grato a Castor Fantoba e Rob Holland por ter aceitado a invitação e para nós outros, em meu canal, que é um canal pequeno, foi espetacular. Foi uma live espetacular e que para mim, como persona e como aviador, também foi uma grande honra estar juntamente com pessoas tão importantes neste meio de aviação, neste meio de aviação desportiva. Então, só lhe tenho uma palavra que é gratidão e muito obrigado. Muitas graças, Capitão Fantoba. Muito obrigado, Francis Barros. E thank you, Capitão Rob Holland, por esta oportunidade de fazer isto. E esteja certo que quando vienes acá em Brasil, Rio, minha casa é tua casa e Francis Barros já sabe disto também. É a mesma coisa. Então, muito obrigado. Gostaria de passar para você, Castor Fantoba, para suas palavras finais.
El agradecimiento es mío, tanto a Francis como a ti, Marcos, porque estáis haciendo un trabajo fantástico de difusión, de llegar a todo el mundo. Lo que hablaba Rob sobre el llegar a gente que sueña con volar, que no lo ve cerca, pero que se puede. Estáis ayudando a eso, estáis ayudando a que mucha gente que lo ve muy lejos lo vea más cerca, incluso lo haga. Eso es lo importante. estáis ayudando a que la comunidad acrobática se una. Estáis ayudando a conocer a gente como Rob, un fenómeno, es una persona extraordinaria, que venga aquí y os cuente sus cosas, sus interioridades, de una manera como lo habla persona a persona con nosotros en cualquier momento. Es una personalidad muy, muy, muy cercana, grande y bueno, lo dicho, todo el agradecimiento del mundo y por ponerme al alcance de toda la comunidad brasileira, toda la comunidad iberoamericana que estará escuchando. Y nada, yo os voy a dejar una tarea pendiente. Falta en el mundo un campeonato del Cono Sur de vuelo acrobático.
Sí.
Absolutely.
Pero
We're going to work on that.
Si yo puedo colaborar en algo, por favor, decídmelo.
You were in, for sure.
Sim. E antes de passar a palavra para Francis Barros, eu gostaria de agradecer a todas as pessoas que estiveram conosco nesta live, agradecer a Gunnar Armin, que é um espetacular aviador e piloto que está também, que nos deu suporte, agradecer a CBA, a CBA com o João, agradecer ao Vadico Aéreo, que tenha muito sucesso nos seus projetos, agradecer ao Ricardo também, do Hangar 33, muito obrigado pelo apoio, a todos que divulgaram, a todos que fizeram isso acontecer. Sem vocês, a live também não seria tão importante quanto foi. Passo para o Francis Barros, por favor.
Bom, eu vou falar rápido, mas em inglês e português, porque eu sei que tem pessoas de fora assistindo também. So first of all, I'd like to thank you, all of you. I'm speaking English now because I know there are people from abroad, and unfortunately, we cannot read very clearly who are. I saw some pretty good messages. I couldn't read them because I was focused on the program. So thank you very much for all. If I forgot some names or if I forgot to say thank you, please forgive me. I'd like to say thank you for sure for Castor and Rob, but they are good friends and they are just doing their passion. They are very passionate about that. So I was pretty sure when I invited them that they would join us on board. And last but not the least is that, okay, we have talked about how people can get connected with aerobatics and aviation. So my suggestion, because I don't want to say any names, any schools, any training centers, because I always forget some names and people call me, hey, you haven't spoke about me. So I'm sorry, I can't speak generally. So if you want to have proper information about training, about aerobatics, about competition, about how to be a volunteer, how to be a judge, we need judges, please contact the Brazilian National Association, CBA, and they are going to help us because they are great guys and very promising ones. I fully trust them. So that's it. Thank you very much. I'll speak shortly in Portuguese now. So, muito obrigado a todos. Eu não tenho como agradecer a todos aqui, porque de vez em quando a gente lê algumas mensagens, mas é rápido enfim, muito obrigado a todos que estão conectados, a todos que mandaram as mensagens. Eu não consigo muitas vezes ler, mas eu sei que as mensagens foram muito bonitas e eu agradeço muito. Quanto ao Rob e ao Castor, eles são apaixonados por aviação como nós, então quando eu os convidei, e por saber que são excelentes pessoas, além de excelentes aviadores, eu sabia que eles iam aceitar o projeto de cara. E o mais importante, a gente falou de incentivar, de motivar as pessoas, é como fazer, né? Então, como eu sempre acabo esquecendo de mencionar um instrutor, uma escola, uma academia de aviação, eu vou falar genericamente, a melhor maneira. Procurem, se vocês querem saber como fazer um curso de acrobacia, ou como ajudar, ou como ser um juiz, como estar envolvido, procurem a Associação Brasileira, o CBA, Comitê Brasileiro de Acrobacia e Competições Aéreas, e eles vão saber da orientação correta. É uma turma nova, correta, vibrante, muito promissora, e como o Castor falou, a gente tem que apostar na base, e eu aposto neles. Então, obrigadão, um abraço, e aos aviadores, não desistam, a gente vai passar essa crise.
Com certeza, com certeza. Valeu, então. Muito obrigado, muitas graças, Capitão Castor Fantoba. Muito obrigado, Francis Barros. Muito obrigado a todos que estiveram conosco. E até uma próxima. See you later, see you next time. Vejo vocês na próxima vez. Muito obrigado.
Todos a volar.
Tchau, Costa. Um abraço.